All right.
Alrighty.
As promised, we are back with our review of a film that came out. God, when did this come out?
16.
Wow, it's been that long.
Yep.
This film came out in what year? Oh, December. December 2016. Yep. So it almost came out in 2017.
Yeah.
It was like the very end of 2016. This is a film that I think you and I have been wanting to talk about for a while, but we haven't gotten the chance to. Similar to Fallen Kingdom.
Yep.
And of course, the film that we are talking about is the highly anticipated at that time first Star Wars spin-off, Rogue One.
They've no idea we're coming.
Take hold of this moment. The Force is strong. Make 10 men feel like 100.
We'll take the next chance. And the next. You're rebels, aren't you?
Save the rebellion! Save the dream!
I saw this in the theaters. Actually, I think I saw it twice, and right around when it came out. And I still really like this movie.
Yeah.
I think we feel the same way about it.
Yeah, I liked it. I think it's good. Nothing special like the original trilogy, but...
Oh, yeah, no. But I think it kind of matched the gritty, grimier aesthetic of the original trilogy.
I mean, it's better than episodes 1 and 2 so far.
I would say it's better than episodes 3, too.
Really?
I would say it's better than 3, yeah. I enjoy it more than 3. Like I said, I don't like the prequels at all, but 3 is the only somewhat good episode, and even that's like, meh. Right, so you want to go through a quick plot description of what Rogue One is about?
So basically this takes place in between episodes 3 and 4, where the rebellion is on a mission to steal the plans to the Death Star and figure out a way of how to destroy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very simple premise, but a lot of people were excited about seeing the story come to life because they had heard in the lore and previous Star Wars movies about this story. And personally, I didn't know anything about it. I just knew about, it's a group of rebels that, like, banded together to steal the plans to the Death Star.
Yep.
So kind of, like, undermining and like, kind of almost like a stealth mission, if you think about it.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I still would firmly say that this is the only Star Wars movie that feels like an actual war film.
Yeah.
It's got that really gritty element to it where it's just more intense and more, the word I'm looking for is visceral than other Star Wars films. Other Star Wars films have been exciting, but this one feels a little more grounded and a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
I would say this is actually the most realistic feeling Star Wars movie.
Really?
If I had to go that far, yeah.
Wow.
Along with the characters too, they just seem like more like just your everyday person. Was there anything else to the plot, or is that's pretty much it?
That's pretty much the whole premise of the film.
Yeah, and for over 2-hour movie, I'm trying to remember how long it is. How long is it?
I think it's over 2 hours.
It's 2 hours and 13 minutes. For a 2-hour and 13-minute movie, for that premise to be able to maintain itself throughout that long of a runtime, it's pretty admirable, I would say. This film was directed by Gareth Edwards, who previously did the 2014 Godzilla film. I know you've got thoughts about that. Have you seen it?
The 2014 one?
2014 one, yeah.
I mean, I thought it was okay.
I like it. I mean, I think both the Godzilla movies, with the King of the Monsters being more recent, I think I enjoyed King of the Monsters more, but I think the original Godzilla was a little bit better story-wise, and the human characters were more solid. The human characters in King of the Monsters they were pretty one-note.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but I'm getting off on a tangent, but his first big-budget film was Godzilla. Wasn't underwhelmed by it, but wasn't, like, blown away either. It was just very, like, decent.
Yeah.
That was very much the middle of the road. I think this is a better film than Godzilla.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think the characters are more interesting. I think the fact that it's part of the Star Wars franchise and universe also helps it.
Mm-hmm.
And this was also the first Star Wars movie where we were going in, it's like, we didn't know any new characters.
No.
And they completely, like, they had actors that maybe we knew about, but characters that we had never met before.
Nope.
So they had to establish the backstories and get us to care about these people. And maybe not for everyone, but I would say that the filmmakers did a pretty good job of doing that.
Yeah.
The lead, Jyn Erso, played by Felicity Jones. I love her as an actress.
Yeah.
I thought she was.
seen her in The Theory of Everything, and she was fantastic in that
She
one.
was. She was also in the Monster Calls. She played the mom. She was really good in that too. She's good in everything I've seen her in. For her to play this character in the Star Wars universe, I thought she was really solid.
Yeah.
Did you like her?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think she was a good lead. She reminded me a little bit of Daisy Ridley's Rey, but the difference was, at times I think Rey's, but you've said, has been kind of a Mary Sue. I don't think Jyn was a Mary Sue.
Well, yeah.
I think she was definitely, more badass
Well,
too.
I mean, Rey basically just has all these powers, like, in The Rise of Skywalker, which we'll get to in a minute,
Well,
she
yeah.
uses
Review
Force
at some point.
Lightning without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Whereas
yeah.
Jyn Erso knows she's not a Jedi, so she can't do all these, like, crazy things.
Yeah, she's just a person,
Yeah.
and she's also been.
She's just really tough.
She's had to be tough because of the years that she's been without parents, and she only had the one mentor played by Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was definitely a really good lead for this movie. I would say this was more of an ensemble piece, but if we had to pick an actual lead, I would say it's her.
Yeah.
Because you've also got Diego Luna as Cassian Andor. I would say he was probably secondary lead because he had the most screen time besides her. He was good.
Oh yeah.
I think he's a good actor in general. I really liked his character. Alan Tudyk voiced the droid K2SO.
Yeah.
And I thought he was really funny. I actually thought he was really funny.
I'd probably say he was my favorite character out of all of them.
All of them? Yeah. I would say he's up there for me. He was really funny, really dry. And the CGI on him was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's never actually there. It's all CGI, but he looked like he was there.
Yep. And I also like, who was the Asian guy?
Donnie Yen, Chirrut Imli.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can never remember his name.
I just love when he says that quote, "I am one with the Force is one with me."
And he was cool too. I would say the zen that he exuded or exhumed, his whole character and his buddy played by Wen Jiang, he played Baze Malbus. Can never remember either of their names, but they were really good together.
Yeah.
And I thought Donnie Yen's character was just really badass. I mean, when he took on all those stormtroopers in that one scene, I was like, with just a staff, I was like, that is cool. And Donnie Yen's also like a mixed martial artist professionally, so that helps too. But they were definitely interesting, and I really enjoyed their characters. Super fleshed out, no, but in a movie with this big of an ensemble, you can't flesh everyone out. So, and we've got Ben Mendelsohn as Orson Krennic, or Director Krennic, as one of the main villains. I would say maybe the main villain in this movie. He's good at playing villains. He played a villain in Lost River. He played a villain in the Robin Hood film, the recent Robin Hood film. Of varying degrees of quality, but if he's the villain, you can guarantee that he's going to bring it.
Yeah.
And I think he was good as this character in this movie. I think he was suitably evil, like mustache twirling evil.
Yeah.
And I like him, and I just like him as an actor in general.
Oh yeah.
So, did you have any thoughts of him as the villain?
I mean, personally, I thought he was one of my least favorite characters of the
Fair? Of the movie?
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, he doesn't do a whole lot, but I think he was better than the the other general who actually was dead and they brought back with CGI. What's his character's name? From the original trilogy. Oh my god.
I think
Tarkin, Governor Tarkin.
Yeah.
Guy Henry. Yes, Governor Tarkin. The CGI on him was not the best.
Yeah.
But it was admirable they tried to bring his character back, but at the same time I was like, do we need that?
No.
No, we could have just gone with Krennic in that movie. And Darth Vader pops up in one or two scenes in this movie, and while he's not in it very much, his scenes are some of the highlights of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially the scene where he completely takes out rebels on a ship.
Yep.
That is a great scene.
Hey,
oh my god.
Kind of a back call to A New Hope.
Callback, yeah, definitely callback to A New Hope. And I would say, similar to that, that's part of the final act of this movie. I would say the third act, final act of this movie is the best part.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. And before we get into that, Riz Ahmed played the pilot, Bodhi Rook. He was one of the other characters. Not super fleshed out, but likable enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that boar gullet scene with the squid thing, that was a little questionable. I was like, why do we need this?
Yeah.
But his character was interesting, and, I cared about him enough. He was fine. Like I said, ensemble piece, not everyone's going to be as fleshed out.
Yeah.
And Forrest Whitaker played Saw Gerrera. He was the guy who raised Jin after her parents were basically... Well, her mother was killed, and then her father was taken away, and she thought her father was killed. He doesn't have a whole lot of screen time, but it's Forrest Whitaker.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a certain presence about him in any movie where it's just like, listen up.
Yep.
That he is talking. We listened to Forrest Whitaker. So, he did a good job there. I'm trying to remember anybody else. I think we've covered the main cast. Can you think of anybody I left out?
I don't think so.
Oh, and Genevieve O'Reilly played Mon Mothma. She's kind of just there. She has a couple lines, but she didn't really blow me away.
Yeah.
She's like, eh. The character is iconic, I get that, but for the movie, and because I don't follow the comics and the books, the novels of Star Wars, she was just present.
Oh yeah.
It was just, she had a couple good lines, but she doesn't really do a whole lot in the movie, and I think she was just kind of there for fan service.
Yeah.
And C-3PO and R2-D2 were also there for fan service. They didn't need to be.
They were?
Yeah, there's one quick scene where they were in it.
Oh.
Yeah, you probably don't remember.
Nope.
Yeah, you probably have to watch it again. So that's the cast in a nutshell. Again, I would say mixed bag of unknown actors and then very well-known actors.
Yep.
And I think the mix worked well. Cinematography-wise, this film, like we were just talking about Fallen Kingdom, it's a good-looking movie.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember who did the cinematography for this. Greg Fraser did the photography. Good-looking film.
Yeah.
He's also shot films like... Tell me if you've heard... Oh, he shot a couple episodes of The Mandalorian, which I've heard is incredible looking. Vice, the one about Dick Cheney.
Never seen it.
Vice is really good.
Yeah.
You should see it. Did you see The Big Short?
Yeah.
See Vice.
Okay.
Same director, same style. Lion. Great movie. Highly recommend. Foxcatcher. Haven't seen it yet. The Gambler, Killing Them Softly, Snow White and the Huntsman, Zero Dark 30. Good-looking movies.
Oh yeah.
So props to Greg Fraser. He made a very good-looking movie, like his other ones. Yep. And again, the action. I think this is some of the best action and effects in a Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah.
The whole fight on this is the only. I can't believe I actually remember the planet's name. I think it's Seraph.
I think.
Yeah, the desert planet that like the big war takes place at the end of the movie. One of my favorite planets in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
It just looks gorgeous, and it kind of evoked Saving Private Ryan feels of like war films.
Yeah.
It just was Star Wars, and I just thought that was really effective, especially when they were running towards the AT-ATs, the big ones.
Yeah.
Is that what they're
the
called?
AT-AT walkers.
The AT-AT walkers. Yeah, I see the AT-ATs, but yeah, that was really pulse pounding and exciting, especially when they almost got squashed by one. So yeah, that was really solid in my opinion. And the musical score for Rogue One, I think Michael Giacchino did this too. He composed Fallen Kingdom, and I think he did this as well. And if I'm correct, hold that thought. I'm sorry, John Williams did the original theme for it, which he always does, but Michael Giacchino also did the score. So it was a collaborative effort.
I was going to say, John Williams has basically been a part of the Star Wars universe since the very first.
And even for the not-so-good Star Wars movies, his score has remained great.
Oh, yeah.
He has never made a bad Star Wars score. I want to point that out right now. Like, John Williams is a god. I would say he's on the level of the Hans Zimmers of composers. So... Yeah, and then Michael Giacchino, like I already said in my previous Fallen Kingdom review, solid score, solid composer. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
So, like we said, cinematography and music, this is a good-looking and good-sounding movie, and it really complements and enhances the film further. So, with that being said, we're going to rank this bad boy.
Yeah.
I need to watch this again now that I'm talking about it. I'm going to give Rogue One a really decent 8 out of 10. I think the score could go up, and it also could go down on rewatch, but I've seen this, I think, 3 or 4 times, maybe 2 or 3, I can't remember.
I've only seen it once.
You've only seen it once,
Yep.
yeah. We should watch it again, probably even together, and maybe we catch some things that we missed. 8 out of 10 for me. What say you?
I will give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
So we both say above average, 7 out of 10 from me. Sorry, 7 out of 10 from you,
Yep.
8 out of 10 from me. We both recommend Rogue One. If you haven't seen it, maybe you're not a Star Wars fan, but even if you're not a Star Wars fan, this might be the Star Wars film that might surprise you, because again, it has a different feel and look than the other main franchise Star Wars films do, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
So I think that's all I really have to say about Rogue One. What about you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay. All right. Well, with that said, we're going to move on to our next review, also a Star Wars spinoff.
Yeah.
That will be the divisive and kind of maligned, I'll tell you the definition of that later, Solo, a Star Wars story. And that'll be interesting to talk about.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And we'll see you in that review.
Yeah, see ya.
Take care.